So good evening, everyone. Very welcome to Top Team. What month are we in? February's meeting. So we are trying to have these meetings, or we are having these meetings on the second Monday of every month. So get those in your diary. Second Monday of the month will be the Top Team Zoom meeting. And obviously for those in Somerset, we now have the Somerset Buzz, which is the first Monday of the month. So that's really cool that we're actually starting to get face-to-face again. Where is Lorraine? There is someone there. Can you see? So we'll just let Abdul join and say welcome to him. So we are obviously quite a few people have messaged me today to say they couldn't be on here live. Sean, sorry, I'm just going to mute you. Do you mind? It's fine. Thank you. Antonia's here now as well. That's cool. So yeah, quite a few people have said that they can't make it live tonight. So I obviously am recording it, but if you can come to these things and actually be here, it is much better than watching it back on the recording, because you can't be involved, can you, if you're just watching our recording? So try and come live whenever you can, because you do definitely, well, you have your opportunity not only to meet people a bit, but also to ask questions then as well, don't you, and things like that. So it does make it much better to be here live if you absolutely can. I think we may have lost one of our speakers this evening. I'm not sure. Jane isn't very well, so she said she'd make it if she could, but she may not. So I said I would do a little bit on recruiting if she can't make it. So I'm afraid you'll have to put up with me on that bit, but hopefully she might pop up in a minute. Michelle's here now as well. That's brilliant. So I wanted to kick off really tonight to say how amazing that most of us, I know it's not all Top Team in here. We've got a few friends and from various legs and different parts of the business. Oh, Alex is coming in now. Alex has just signed up his second customer. He only joined 2 days ago, so that's pretty cool, isn't it? So I'll just let Alex connect. And hi, Michelle. Nice to see you here. Alex, can you hear us all right? Brilliant. I was just saying, Alex, that you've signed up your mum and signed yourself up yesterday. So well done. So you're rocking and rolling already. So I wanted to start tonight by just talking about our Upline, our sort of national network leaders right at the top of, or basically the people that joined the business 25 years ago and have just worked it consistently part-time. So most of us on this call are in their team. So we are very much part of what they are celebrating this week. And that's why I wanted to mention it tonight, because they have just hit 200,000 group customers. So everyone that's in their business are all contributing towards that. Absolutely, Tom, it does deserve a clap. So 200,000 group customers. Now, for those of you that don't quite know how we get paid yet, because it is very confusing, I've just got my calculator here. So 200,000, I'm going to just go times 20p. All right, now actually it's more like 50 or 60p now we get per group customer. But that is £40,000 a month. So they actually are capped at £42,000 a month. So it would be more than that. They just need to get, I think they need to get to 250,000 customers, and then it goes up to the next level of around £50,000 a month. So anyway, I'm only mentioning that because would £42,000 a month in passive income be okay for anyone on this call? That'd be all right. Would that be a bit of a start? Well, you know, it'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? I mean, even if you took quite a lot of noughts off that, I mean, £420 a month in passive income is very nice. £4,200 in passive income is very nice, you know, so any passive income coming in is absolutely brilliant. So I just wanted to say, for those of you that are just starting and maybe struggling to see the big picture in this, it is just a case of keeping going consistently, but also massively thinking about building the team. You know, the reason, in fact, I had a conversation with him. Sorry, I am going to have to let the dog out because he's doing his usual the minute I start talking. I got stuck on the grandfather clock. Yes, so I spoke to Diana. I rang Diana up to congratulate her on whatever day it was now. It's Sunday morning. Yeah, I spoke to her. And we talked about personal customers. And interestingly, they earn exactly the same as me on their personal customers. So they've got the same personal customers as I have. Bear in mind, I've been in 13 years, they've been in 26 years. But how motivating is that to think, actually, that they've got the same personal customers than I have, but they get £42,000 a month in passive income. So absolutely incredible. Hi, Julie.
Hi.
So I just wanted to start with that, really, just because I thought, you know, when things are tough, now not everybody's going to sign up, not everybody we show is going to join, People are going to quit. You're going to find it difficult sometimes. People that you think are going to join don't, and people that you think won't will. And it's all a complete mishmash, and it's a roller coaster of a business. But they are absolute proof of the pudding that if you just keep going and keep showing people, that is what's possible. All right. And they are very normal people, Clive and Di, but they are very hardworking people, but they are very, down to earth. And that's what they've done with this business, which I find that very, very motivating. So we're going to start with just a little bit of recognition. So I've just looked back at January, because obviously, even though we're mid-Feb, we're looking back at January for this meeting and just doing a bit of recognition then. And our top customer gatherer in January, I know she can't be here this evening because she definitely was one that asked if this would be recording, was newcomer Laura Knight. So how brilliant is that? Big round of applause for Laura, brand new in the business and the top customer gatherer for the whole team in January. So I think that is very, very cool. And in second place equal was Jodie and Simon Hitchens, who was another newcomer. So I was actually mentoring Simon and Laura last month. So I'm very pleased to see that they were first and second on the customer gathering. That's pretty cool. And then in equal third place was Steve Garbett, which I know is very helped by Joe Garbett. So Steve's Joe's husband, and he's very instrumental in her plan to get to senior team leader. And in fact, I'm going to say it now, I think tomorrow morning, Steve needs one group customer to get to team leader, and Joe just needs one person to get one more customer, and that's her done for senior team leader. So I'm very much expecting that to happen within the next week, which will be very, very, very exciting. So she's supported all them really well. Laura and Carl were in third place equal. So we must send them a message if they don't watch this playback, because they're a little bit quiet at the moment. They're moving house and all sorts. And then top recruiters in January. First place was me, second place was Jane, and third place was Gloria and Joe. So again, well done, well done everybody that's sort of building their team. So January was a little bit like we're all getting going again, weren't we, after Christmas? Christmas is definitely downtime for lots of people, and so it should be. And January sort of, I feel we were just starting to wake up, but I must say that February already has got great momentum, lots of people joining, lots of new partners coming through. So really well done everyone, because that's really, really nice to see. And obviously we had Tomo, well done Tomo, who got 20 plus, the old flying club the other day, fantastic. And obviously Jane also hit 50 plus club. So Jane, doesn't look like she can make it this evening, which is a great shame. So just before I hand over to our guest speakers this evening, so it's not just me waffling on tonight, you'll be pleased to hear there's some other people contributing this evening. But I just wanted to talk about two challenges that I am setting. We used to do monthly team challenges, and it really did help with some people with their daily activities and momentum and all that sort of thing. And it got a little bit hectic for me to try and keep up with it. But I'm going to attempt now to run a team challenge that will start tomorrow, right up until the Friday before Power Up. All right. And I will post tomorrow what you get points for, because I haven't quite worked that bit out today, because I've been doing appointments all day and I haven't had time to do it. So, but it will be definitely points for booking your Power Up ticket. It'll be points for obviously signing up customers or signing up partners. Also, they points for doing presentations. So this is about activity. It's not just about those that are, having the great results. It's about people putting the effort in. So there'll be points for, showing the presentation, for doing training, all that sort of thing. So there's going to be quite a mix in there. But you are going to have to tell me what you've done, because things like showing presentations, I can't see. I can obviously see if people sign people up, but I can't see if they're doing presentations. And actually, this is open to all of you. Okay, so those that aren't in my team, if you want to take part of it, then you will just have to give me your activity, probably on every few days or something. Just make a note of what you're doing on a daily basis, and then every few days just message across to me, and I will post the leaderboard up twice a week. All right, between now and Power Up. There are 3 categories though, so we're going to have one for newcomers. So all you new people that have joined, anyone that's joined since December the 1st is going to be in the newcomer category. Anyone that's future team leader or under, and then team leader and above. So it's going to be those 3 categories for you all. And the top 5 people in each category, I have organised a very special VIP training with Clive and Di. All right, so it's going to be a special Zoom training. They're going to come on and tell us their story, tell us how they got to their £42,000 a month, and tell us what they're still doing now to support the team. And it'll be, if you haven't heard their story, and I know many of you on that won't have, it is a fascinating story. It'll be a very, very entertaining and inspiring hour for you. So I've set that up. They've said that They're very happy to do that. And the other challenge is for team leaders and above, remember the highest percentage of people you get to power up. I've had this confirmed now with Clive and Di. I am going to drive you in the Tesla to Clive and Di's house, or they're going to take us out for lunch, or it might be a barbecue in their garden or something, but we're going to go and spend a few hours with them and have lunch, etc., which is going to be very, very cool. So get on the portal and get onto TeamView and click on who's booked power up and see if you can encourage a few more of your team to do that, because at the moment I think Ray's in the lead, which is, I can't just turn up there with Ray, can I? Because he's been there anyway, comes anyway, so it's just we got to sort that one out. So that's really cool. Right, okay, so before I'm going to talk about training and stuff, pardon, he's gone again. I'm going to talk about some training and things at the end, but now I'm going to pass over now. If we could go to Jodie. So Jodie was second top customer gather last month, and she's in the lead in the team for gathering customers this month. So I just thought it'd be nice to hear from Jodie, some top tips, what's kept her in. Tell your story, Jodie, what's kept you in and what you're doing now to get some customers. Is that all right?
Yeah, no problem. Right, so I guess where to start really. So I work full-time in the NHS, single parent, because my friend put on Facebook about saving some money on their bills, and I thought, well, I could definitely do with that. So I managed to have an appointment with Celia. She came round, she talked about the partner side of things, and I was just like, you're kidding, I'm not doing that, I'm busy enough. I was doing NHS during the day, sports massage in the evening, but then actually when I looked at it a bit further, I realised actually my time doing the business was a lot more fruitful than doing sports massage, which was really hard work, and my hand did hurt basically. So then I started to look at the partner side. I did not go off to a flying start at all. I think Celia rang me a few times about my training, and I said, yeah, I'm doing it. But the big moment for me was going to a big event. So I went up to Cheltenham to the event there, and it was absolutely brilliant. I heard from everybody there, all different stories. I met, the rest of the team, and it was absolutely brilliant. That was my light bulb moment from the very start. Haven't missed an event since, not at all. So it all went great to start with. I was consistent, I was learning lots. I signed up to get Knowledge is King books every month. I did all the things I was supposed to do, had momentum in the team. Everybody says about consistency. Then the pandemic happened. Now, at first, it didn't really affect me, but because everything was remote, I kind of struggled with that a little bit. I'm very much a people person. I really enjoyed my appointments, meeting people, and that's where I could really be quite enthusiastic about things. So it kind of crept up on me that actually the consistency dropped off, and then it kind of snowballed in the momentum in the wrong way. So, I couldn't catch up. I couldn't, catch up with the meetings, WhatsApp calls, or anything like that. So, and I moved house in between times, so it's a bit of a crazy time. Anyway, the books kept coming though. The Knowledge is King books kept coming. And that side of things is not just about this business, it's about how it affects the rest of your life. So they are, that's one of the best things I've done really. And then when I've moved house, when I've been settled, it was another event that was coming up actually just before Christmas. So that was, did we go to that? I can't remember. Anyway, so that event happened. Did it happen? I'm not sure.
We went somewhere in the car together, didn't we? And you hadn't been anywhere for ages, and we went somewhere in the car together. Where did we go? And we chatted all the way, and then you went, oh my God, I don't know. Anyway.
Somewhere north. Anyway, it was a big event anyway. And then I just completely forgot how positive and how much I enjoyed the business. And the whole mindset of what this business does for you from the very start, it is why I do it really. So then that's when my consistency picked up. So January hit, no, actually, I'll go back a bit, actually. I went away on holiday. That's it. I went away on holiday to the Dominican for Christmas, and it gave me that time to just sit back and have a think about what I wanted, what was happening. You know, NHS job is always going to be there. I enjoy that side of things, but equally my big driver is I want to retire when I want to retire. I want to go part-time. I want to travel. I want to see the world. I think that, you know, there's, you know, life's too short. You do have to do what you want to do. So that's when I remember what this business does, and that's when my consistency picked up. So then I've just been speaking to anyone and everyone. So I've already said I work full time. I also go to the gym a couple of hours, 5 days a week, single parent. So I haven't got bags of time, but I do things consistently. Spoke to a colleague at work, he's actually on this call. That was after the event in October, and he saw how excited I was about it. And it's been really fantastic actually working with Ben, because he's really engaged with things. I shared my knowledge in library with him.
Aye.
So, hi,
I just saw Ollie.
Ollie just walked behind you, so we're all saying hello to Ollie.
Okay. So yeah, he's been reading through the books and things, which has been really helpful, and Ben will be coming up to power up as well. That'd be great. So I think for me, you know, it's a long-term plan with this business. It is about what future choices it gives me, and really it's, you know, dreaming big and having ambition again, which I lost. And it's not about, oh, I wish I could do that and that's never going to happen. That's, I wish I could do that. I am going to do that, and I am going to plan for it. So that's where all my enthusiasm and motivation comes from right now. So I've got lots of goals again and lots of things to work towards.
Brilliant. So Jodie, what would your top advice be to the new people here, how to handle their disappointment when people perhaps don't sign up or people cancel, or because I know you struggled with that in the beginning, but you've got much better with that. So what would your advice be to them? Have you got a particular book that you could recommend, and what would your advice be?
Oh, definitely Rejection Proof. That is the best book ever. And just not to worry about the detail too much. Let people know what you're doing, because you'll soon know that people come back. At first, you know, it's something new, but you know, utility warehouse is such a big name now, especially right now. People need to know that you do it. They need to know somebody, and they will come back to you. So just move on. And when somebody says no, it's not personal, and actually they will come back. You learn something from every single appointment, you know, so, and you realize that as you go through and carry on.
Brilliant, thank you. So Jodie, what's your goal for by the end of 2022 with the business?
Oh, STL. I'm getting STL. I am.
Well done, brilliant. Thank you, Jodie. That was brilliant. Has anyone got any questions for Jodie? That was brilliant. That was a really, really good slot. Would anyone like to ask Jodie anything at all? You can put it in the chat if you don't want to speak out. Anything tonight that you want, you know, a question, if you've got a question for me or anything that you'd like me to, you know, to cover, if you just want to pop it in the chat, then that would be absolutely fine if you don't want to shout out. Yeah, so Rejection Proof. Can you remember who Rejection Proof is by?
It's bright green. I can't remember. I've got it in my library. I'll send a picture.
If you Google it, I'm sure it'll come up. I doubt if there's many books called that. So Julie's back in the waiting room again. I think she was. Oh, here we are. It's by, who's that?
I have a question.
Got it. Jia Jiang. There we go. Brilliant. Thank you, Vanessa. Well done. Excellent. Good. That was brilliant.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sean. Yeah, so I just wondered, because you're a top customer gatherer, what have you found works for gathering customers?
So actually, I actually do a lot on Facebook. I know we shouldn't do just one thing, but actually, the last few customers have been people I went to school with, and that was like, what, 20 years ago. It's probably the hardest route, but actually, I genuinely do want to know how they're doing. You know, and it just ends up coming in conversation with really, you know, what's going on with life actually. And I think because I'm just so positive about things, you know, and you know, and especially now with the current market, people want to save money, then, you know, they're like, why not have a chat and just have a look? So that's been probably most of my customers recently.
That's useful, thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jodie. Excellent. Thomas, and how do you deal with rejection from family and friends? It is hard, isn't it? It's hard when the people that you think should support you don't. It's much harder to deal with that than when it's people you don't know. I think one of the things to remember with family and friends is sometimes they are actually rejecting you to protect you. And it's because they are almost a bit concerned as to what you've got involved with. And they sort of think if they support you, then they're supporting something that might not be a good thing. It's just because they don't understand it. Do you find that is in when you're trying to show them or after you've shown them? Tomo, what would you say? Are you getting the most rejection when you're trying to set up the appointments, or is it after they've allowed you to show them? Both. Okay, a bit of both. Yeah, that's fair enough. I think with a lot of people, the rejection comes because they don't really understand what it is. And that comes from the not even letting you show them, which is really frustrating, isn't it? Because you're like, it's really good, but why won't you let me show you? All I would say is keep your posture massively. Really try not to let it dent you, because certainly I had rejection from some family and friends, and most of them have come back now, years later, and asked me, can you have a look at this now, which is very, very satisfying when they do that. But the biggest way, and I know this sounds easy, but probably isn't that easy, but the biggest way to move that is actually to be successful yourself in the business, to just carry on regardless whether they support you or not. Just keep going. Let their rejection fuel your fire and your determination rather than knock it back, and keep going, because once people see you are successful at it and it's working for you, it's very, very difficult for them to carry on being negative. So it's really about, wrapping your arm around you and just keep going and use it to fuel you rather than to knock you back. Because at the end of the day, even though they're family and friends, are they going to come and pay your bills when you can't? No. And I always say that's always my grounding thing, is when it's that not worrying about what people think of you, not worrying if they don't join you, because actually you are the only person on this planet that can make things happen for yourself, and actually just try not to let it affect you. But I know it does, but it's good to be able to talk about it, isn't it? It's good to be with people that understand what that feels like as well, because it is horrible. I definitely remember when I asked my dad in the beginning and he wouldn't even look at it. I was gutted, because he'd always supported me in everything, and I couldn't understand why he wouldn't with this. It's just a funny thing, but he did become a customer eventually. Brilliant. That was great, Jodie, and great question. Thank you, Tomo. Right, so now we're going to go over to a lady who's been in the business longer than I have. We don't need to tell that story. No, we don't need to tell that story, but we're going to hand over to Roz. Oh, Jane's just arrived in the waiting room. Brilliant. So I'll hand over to Roz, and Roz is going to talk about again your background, Roz, and how this business has helped you, and why you think it's so important for people to get started. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely fine. Is that coming through? Have I?
Yeah.
Is that coming through? Right?
Yeah.
Yes, I have been fortunate enough to have been part of this business for a long time. My late father was adamant that I should have another income outside of horse. At the time, I was very busy and very successful show jumping, working long hours, but loving what I do. But anyway, we were introduced to Telecom Plus, as it was then, parent company of Utility Warehouse. He helped me to get started 18 months before he died. And he said, this will be your future, your security, and your pension. Get started and don't ever quit. Those words have rung in my ears. I have never even considered quitting. He helped me to get started. We put on a good bank of customers, and that's the important bit. He passed away, and I had to deal with life, mother with dementia, a load of horses, and to be perfectly honest, I did virtually nothing for years. But every single month, passive income has been brought. And I was really surprised once when I had a little add up not that long ago. It has amounted to over £38,000. Now, because I'm a massive passion for skiing, and one of my main reasons for doing UW was to fund my skiing, because the horses wouldn't. I've spent a lot of it on skiing and on other things in life, because you only die once. But that money would not have come from anything else. So what's really important when you begin is do put on a customer every single month, because then you get that maximum passive income. Later on, once you've gone past the 20 plus club and you've gone past the 50 plus club, then it's locked in for life and it builds up. Because as I said, for many years, I did very, very little. I put on the odd customer here and there. Then I had a couple of accidents, and I lost a hell of a lot of confidence in myself, not in riding or jumping or anything else, but in myself. And if it hadn't been for UW, I don't know where the heck I'd have been. But somebody rang me up and said, oh, are you coming to Pizza Tuesday or something? And I said, no, I'm not actually. Oh, well, I've got a spare ticket, come along. That was a turning point. I went back, I realized how much I loved being part of everything. Then someone else invited me to go to something else with UW, and away we went. But please don't ever quit. Make sure you do something every month that gets you that passive income, and enjoy it, because who knows what's around the corner. It covers those bills each month, or it enables you to go skiing. Because even if it's enough to cover one of those pesky bills that has to be paid, or council tax or a water bill or the mobile bill, if you can tick that off before you've even started work that month, that's a long way forward.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, that's amazing. So one of the concepts which Ros is talking about, one of the ways, yeah, big round of applause, that was brilliant. One of the ways it was explained at Mastermind, wasn't it, was that break the zero. So what that means is most people start the month on zero, don't they? Because you have to go to work again. You have to go and do your 20 hours or your 40 hours or your whatever it is before you get paid. And the amazing thing about UW and the passive income that we have is that once you are getting passive income, you never ever start the month again from zero. You've broken that zero. And even if that is £5 a month to start with in passive income, it's £5 more than anyone else has that has a job, you know, and it's really understanding the concept of that. So absolutely try and, you know, do something just to keep moving forwards, because you're either moving forwards or backwards in life. You're not standing still. So actually, if you're not touching your business is going backwards. I hate to say it, but it's true. We all know that, don't we? When you're getting close to a sort of 20 plus customers or 50 plus customers or something, it seems to just hover around, and you get a few and you lose a few. And if you're just relying on your personal efforts and your personal customers for your income, then that is just like a job again. It's like time leverage. But if you can build the team and get the team going and momentum going in the team, then your income will carry on going up, even on those months when you can't work, or, you know, when you don't want to work. So that's really, really breaking the zero. So is that Antonia? I think confidence building is an important part of being a partner. Yes, it is about building your confidence, definitely. And it's about believing that what you are doing is giving people value and giving people choice. And it's actually up to them, though, whether they take it or not, isn't it? It's the same we were just saying with Tomo. You can't force anyone to be a customer or partner. All you can do is show them. We're just looking for people that are open enough to have a look. And there are lots of people out there at the moment that are open enough to have a look. And I can tell you something, within the next 3 to 6 months, there will be a lot more people that are open to having a look. We showed Alex's mum, didn't we, Alex? We just showed your mum this evening. So Alex didn't think his mum would necessarily be interested in being a partner. She's a pensioner, lovely, lovely lady. And we went through the presentation, and she is very, very interested in being a partner because she's surviving on a pension, which is rubbish, you know, and you don't have to settle for that, do you? It doesn't matter how old you are. There's always something else you can do. And it was absolutely amazing to show her what potentially, you know, she could earn, or just by helping out a couple of people a month. In fact, she could pretty much match her whole pension she gets for a month by signing up 3 customers a month, which is just incredible if you think about it, isn't it? To double your pension by just doing 3 customers a month, you know, 5 to 6 hours a month's work. So it was really brilliant. Right, Jane, are you there, Jane? I know you're here. I know you're having a few connection problems.
Hello.
Hello.
No, I'm here. I'm just not feeling very well, so I won't put the camera on. If that's okay.
Bless you. No, well, thank you.
I thought I'd jump on.
Oh, well done. Thank you for coming to join us, because I did say to everyone that I knew you weren't very well, and we won't ask you to say very much, but Jane has been a phenomenal recruiter, you know, definitely for the last sort of couple of years, really, all the way through the pandemic and whatever. And I was just saying, Jane, at the beginning, so you were second recruiter in the whole team in January. and you are currently the top recruiter in our team, but also number 5 today on the main recruiter leaderboard.
Oh.
Very big background noise with you, Jane. I don't know, there's music or something.
That's George playing Fortnite. Hang on, I'll go to the kitchen. Hang on.
It's quite loud. We might have to pour George.
No, I've gone. Right, okay.
Sitting next to me, his ears are pricked up. So yeah, so being 5 out of the whole company, you know, on the recruiting leaderboard out of, I think it's about 30,000 active partners at the moment. So being 5th out of 30,000 people is pretty cool. So Jane, I know you're not very well. Just could you give us all some top tips about how you are so consistent with your recruiting, and what do you think is the key to that?
I've been thinking about that today, thinking what I was going to say. It's belief. It really is the belief in the company, and the belief that what I'm telling them, I truly believe that they need this. You know, like, it's an opportunity. Where else are you going to get an opportunity where you can work from home around your kids or earn that extra bit of income that you need? You know, have that flexibility. And at a time like, there's never ever going to be a time like right now to reach out to people, because we've got, I mean, I say to my new partners, have you got any idea what you've got in your hand? You know, you've got 2 incredible things that everybody's looking for at the moment. You know, they need to either be saving money on their bills or earning an extra income, and there is nothing like that. And when I'm talking to people, they, you know, I'm not just, I mean, you know, some people might just sort of say a script, or they might just say it because that's what they think is going to work. But I truly believe it, and I think that comes across when I'm having a conversation, because they can hear the passion and the belief, you know. And there'll be months where, you know, I don't get that many customers or I don't get that many partners, but what I say never changes. You know, I believe what I'm saying, and there'll be people that hear that and believe me, and there are other people that, you know, for whatever reason, think it's some sort of scam. But that's their problem, not mine. You know, I say the same thing to everybody. I mean, no, well, that's a lie. I don't. I tweak it to the person that I'm talking to, but the actual sort of message is the same, if you know what I mean. Yeah, you've just got to be passionate about, like, just believe what you're saying, and the right people will join you.
Absolutely. But also, Jane, I have to say, you do talk with passion and belief, but you're also very hardworking. You're very, very consistent, and you are brilliant at following up.
Yeah, people see that I've got, you know, 8 partners or 10 partner or whatever, but you don't know how many people I've spoken to get those 10, you know. There's been one day during the first lockdown, I signed up 3 partners in one day, but the month before that, I might have not signed up anybody. It all depends on who you're talking to. And even if you've got a day where you just don't feel like it, you just can't be bothered to speak to it, I still do it, because I come off that phone call on such a high, because I've told somebody something that they need to know, and what they do with that information is up to them. You know, I'm not sort of, the outcome is regardless. I've done my job. I've told them that this exists. You can do this if you want to. I'll be here to support and help you. You don't have to have done anything like this before. You know, just give it a go.
Brilliant. And Jane, very often, am I right in saying that you will phone somebody up that's on your list or your know for now list or whatever, and you'll have a conversation, and then you will then lead that into the presentation there and then, rather than booking a separate appointment? Can you shut that door, please, Erica? Can't you? Is that
yes.
So? Yeah, just talk through how that goes.
Right. So that's just from my own way of thinking. I always think that I wouldn't like somebody just phoning me up randomly and saying, like chatting to me, because I might be in the car with the kids, or I might be, I might be doing something. So I always, when I want to speak to somebody, I'll send them a message. I'll give them a couple of times to choose from, and then we book in that appointment. When I phone them up, the last thing I mention is why I phoned. I just very quickly get a conversation going. Just like get them to relax, maybe like make them laugh, whatever, but just have a conversation, because they're expecting some sort of job interview, which is not what I'm doing. So I just want them to relax. And then I just say to them, like, the easiest way for me to explain to you who we are and what we do is to just show you. And I explained that we were given this remote system during the first lockdown, and then we just jump on and I show them. That way, they learn everything they need to know about the business, also how we get paid. And all the way through, I'm saying, you know, like, this is what we do. I would support you and help you by showing, you know, your potential customers this presentation. We jump on and do it. Great. If they want to be a customer, great. If not, never mind. We've told them about it. They'll come back to you later, yeah, and we'll go and share it with somebody else. Yeah, that's how I do it.
Brilliant. No, that's brilliant. I think that's really good, because I know what a lot of people have is that people not showing up and not, you know, booking a second appointment after initial chat and then them not being there and all that type of thing. So I think that is quite a clever way of doing, you know, just doing that, running into it. So you book the initial chat and then carry on. That's brilliant. Absolutely.
Also, sorry, with the webinar, I think a lot of people can watch that and they kind of get it, but they're still like, well, what do I have to do though? You know, what do we do? Whereas if you just show them the presentation and explain, this is what we do. We've got this because we don't advertise. Nobody knows who we are, what we do. So we just show them this, jump on and do a quote, and that's it. We're just introducing people to UW.
Yeah, I had a conversation about the webinar or the op. In some ways, I feel in this modern day of people's complete lack of attention and, you know, wanting everything to be quick and short and easy and all that it is almost a bit long, and it almost tries to give too much information, and you've still then got to speak to that person afterwards, haven't you, to sign them up and to give them more information. So that's why I did that really short thing the other day, you know, just like a 2-minute, this is sort of what it's about, as a bit of a hook, and I've had good success with that actually. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's perfect, because you're just giving them enough information to they'll know if they're interested or not. Whereas with the op, you give them so much information, but they're still not clued up as to what it is they have to do.
Yeah, that's right. That's brilliant. Has anyone got any questions for Jane? We mustn't keep her poorly Jane for too long talking, but has anyone got any burning questions for Jane? If you have, pop in the chat or shout it out. Obviously the company at the moment, for the first time really, are absolutely focusing us on recruitment more than customer gathering. So for a long time, you know, we were always very much encouraged to gather customers, but then, you know, and also, you know, Andrew's always said row with both oars, hasn't he? But we always got rewarded more in money and points and all that sort of thing for customer gathering rather than building a team. But suddenly, as we go into Power Up this year, there is a massive shift towards the recruiting and building the team, because there's two things which I want you all to know about, because I really want you, first of all, Power Up, as Jodie said tonight, Jane hasn't ever missed a big event when she's been going. Ros would never have missed a big event. In fact, most of the team leaders and above on this call have never missed a big event, and that's the reason they're here. So going to Power Up for you new guys, I know seems massive. It's like, why do I want to drive, you know, 3 hours to be in a room with a load of people I don't know, when you don't know the value of going to that event? And you won't know till you go, but I know that all of us on here literally get goosebumps thinking about where we would be had we not gone, you know, because it is so powerful to be in that room, to see what you are part of, because this company is incredible. It's not just about saving money, saving a few people a few quid. It's really not. The company is incredible. The directors will be there. We are going to hear their vision of this company, not just for the next year, but the next 5, 10, 20, 50 years. This is your legacy, guys. You know, this is your passive income, not just for you, but for your family as well. And when you actually go in and be in that room and watch those people walk across the stage, that, you know, light bulb moment after light bulb moment will go through your head when you hear different people speak. Mostly, a lot of it is just literally you thinking, well, if they can do it, why can't I? You know, because they're just ordinary people who have just been consistent, worked hard and followed the training. That's all it is. I know already one announcement that's coming at Power Up, and you want to be in the room when you hear it. You really do. You don't want to read about it on the portal on Monday morning. It will not have the same impact as being there. And the fabulous news today is that for everybody that's joined since September last year, book your ticket, go to the event. I know, well done, Ben. I know you've already booked your ticket. Fabulous. Go to the event and you're going to get a full refund back. So basically it's free now. So you're going to go and get a hot lunch, have massive inspiration, motivation, meet all us lot, you know, great friendships. And it's not actually going to cost you anything for the ticket. Now, I know you'll be thinking, how am I going to get there? And I don't want to go in on my own and all of those thoughts. So if you are new, please reach out to me as soon as you've booked your ticket, and we will make sure we buddy you up with someone, all right, to get there. I've already got a few seats in a car going from here on the Saturday from Somerset, a few spare seats that I've sorted out today. So we will get you there. Once you book your ticket, you let us know and you make sure you're there, because they worked it out, and they did work this out on the activity of the people that had been to the event a few years ago and the activity of the people that hadn't. It actually cost you £3,000 not to be there. That was what people earned against those that weren't there. So if you can afford to give away £3,000, you know, have the weekend off on March the 19th and 20th. But if you want to really make something and make a difference this year, then make sure you're there. Training, obviously I posted in the Facebook group again this morning the trainings this week, so really do get on as many trainings as you can, especially the new people. When I joined, I did a getting started skills every month for a year, and that's not because I'm completely stupid. Well, I am a little bit stupid, but it's because every single time you have different trainers, you learn different stuff, different questions will be asked, and the more you know, the more confident you will be. And as Jane said, your belief, every time you go on a company training, your belief will go up a notch and up a notch and up a notch, because you will just see what everybody else is achieving around you, which is really, really good, and learning skills. So definitely do your getting started one if you haven't done that yet. And then there's great ones, building your pipeline. There's a great recruiting one. There's a goal setting one. So go and have a look. Most of them are only 30 minutes long. So they've done that so you can fit in as many as you can. And I've also already mentioned about the buzz. Good. Okay, so we're on 7:44, and I said we'd finish at 7:45, so that's pretty awesome. But obviously I've got another appointment this evening, so I've just gone, I still haven't finished it, but anyway, that's fine, it's all good. I'm helping Shirley. I don't think Shirley's here now. We've got an appointment in a minute, which is brilliant. But does anybody have any questions or anything that they would like to throw into the mix before we wrap up tonight? Or have I forgotten anything, anybody? I may have done.
Thank you very much, and what everybody said really inspired me, so thank you.
Yeah, brilliant. Actually, Jodie and Roz and Jane were first class tonight, so thank you guys very, very much. And those of you that, you know, we've got a month now, a month to power up, and I want all of you on the stage. So 3 partners, if you recruit 3 partners between now and then, you're going to be on the stage. If you get promoted between now and then, you're going to be on the stage. There are a couple of you, I'm not going to pick on people, but there are a couple of you that if you sort your asses out, get into gear, pick up the phone every day for the next 30 days, you will be on the stage. And, you know, you might not want to be on the stage, but it is good fun. And not only that, you're probably going to get some champagne and some certificates and some chocolates and all sorts of other stuff as well. And in some cases, money too. So do what you can, because there's nothing worse than sitting at that event really feeling like, I wish I'd just done more. We all do that to a certain extent, but it is nice to be there knowing that you've had a good little run up to it and you come out of the event with some momentum, because that's a top tip actually. When the announcements are made at the event and you'll come running out of that room and you're like, oh my God, I've got to tell the world this is brilliant. You don't really want to be doing that from a standing start. So get some momentum in your business going into the event so that when you come out of the event, you know that you can go and hit the ground running and make a difference to everybody. Cool. All right, brilliant. I will get the recording sorted and up in the group tomorrow. So if any of your team weren't here tonight, tag them all once I get the recording up there. All right, make sure that everybody watches this, because it might just encourage that one person to do that one little bit more. And of course, it might then just help somebody else change their life and not be worrying about money over the next few months. And that would be very nice, wouldn't it? So brilliant. Have a good evening, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.